morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Guys, ladies, everybody, challengers. Today I want to talk to you guys about high fat, low carb. I'm going to message those of you that are in the group and ask you what you thought about the video and if it's something you want to implement into your life. So that way I can give you the actual breakdowns, so that way you can get a better range of what you should be eating throughout the day, if it's something that you think will work for you or something that you would like to try. So right now I haven't been following the practice, but I'm getting back on track slowly and surely. I don't like to just straight deprive myself of stuff because then I get like really crazy. So I just like kind of slowly take things out and get back on track. I find that it's easier for me to, to inch towards it, rather than taking like one fell swoop and reverting back. But most 95% of the time, I don't know, something like that. 95% of the time I like to adhere to high fat, low carb diet. I do use the word diet only because that's the way to describe the meals that I'm like following. The guidelines is that kind of, it's for that kind of diet. So not a diet, but that's the diet. So the diet would be high fat, low carb, which is similar to keto, except that you have more carbs in your system, so you're not as deep into ketosis as you would be with keto. So high fat, low carb will still put your body into keto, but it's not like as severe. So your body's still using carbs for energy, but it's so it's using carbs in conjunction, with fat, because it's going to use mainly your fat and then it can go to carbs. Versus in ketosis, you have so little carbs that you're only eating fat, and then on top of that, a lot of people usually don't eat the good fat. It's about to cut me off. I totally forgot I have a 3-minute cutoff, you guys. So I'm trashing the old video. I'm doing a new video. Good morning. I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about the high fat, low carb meal guidelines, meals guidelines, food eating guidelines, trying to avoid the word diet. Anyways, high fat, low carb, similar to keto. However, you do include more carbs in your diet for energy. So that way sorry, this hair is like driving me insane, you guys. Okay. Perfect. You include more carbs. So your body is burning fat and carbs for energy. So for the carbs, you usually want to get most of your carbs from vegetables, considering that you are allowing yourself a much smaller portion of carbs throughout the day. So for me personally, I usually stick, for like my lifestyle, because I'm not like super fit outside of just working out. I like to keep my carbs under 60 grams a day. When you look at the foods that are being marketed to us, it seems like it's really hard to do. If you include more vegetables in your diet, it's super easy, because you're easily doing a low carb diet while getting the nutrients you need, while not eating bad carbs, and you're filling yourself up. So you want to get most of your carbs from vegetables. And so when I'm talking about vegetables, I mean mainly greens. You really don't want most of the foods that are that grow underground, so like roots, potatoes, even sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. not really sweet potatoes, not really carrots. You mainly want like green beans and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and zucchini and things of that nature. Cucumbers, those are going to be filled with water, those are going to be filled with nutrients, and they're going to be really, really good for you. This is about to cut me off. So I'm about to jump into protein. So I'll see you guys on the flip side. So for your proteins, and this was something I struggled with last time, was that I was including too much meat for my protein. And I think I just had too much protein in my diet. I still think as far as the numbers I do, but as far as the strength and what's the word I'm looking for? Like the eating part, like feeling full and like I feel good with the amount of protein I eat every day. And I'm actually now implementing collagen. Because it's not like it's like the calories, like the number of calories doesn't bother me. I just don't want to eat too much meat and then like overeat in general. I noticed that I just get really full and usually can't finish the meat, and I eat the vegetables. So, I mean, you have to find your balance. So even though like my numbers tell me to eat more protein, I usually don't, and I just try to eat more veggies because I know I can't. But I actually read a book on this time around, and I do want to eat a little bit less protein, especially animal protein, because it bogs down your gut system, and in general, your body just doesn't need that much. You just want like an adequate or a moderate amount of protein. And so, so collagen is another really great source for protein. All the types I can, if you listened to the podcast yesterday, if you haven't, I highly recommend it. Great source for protein. And then the last is fats. And so that actually is going to make up about 50% of your calories for the day. And you guys, there are so many great sources of fat that are so good for you that the media has made look terrible. And I want to go a little more into this, so I'm going to break it into the next video. So I'll be right back. Hey guys, so fats. So I have been on a journey of learning about fats. I am still learning. There's so much to it. And it's very complicated. Well, it's not complicated, it's actually pretty simple, but it's very sciencey. And I'm not good with science. I'm not good with all that. So it takes me a little bit longer to get into it and to learn about it. It's not as interesting to me versus like maybe something like history. But your body essentially is made to run on fats for long term. So if you look at history, we all know very, very long time ago, all of our ancestors were hunters and gatherers of some sort. They then evolved into barterers, which still involved like hunting and breeding and things of that nature. And then of course you have like the Renaissance era and all of like the before and after of like medieval times. I know people hate that phrase. But they still did a lot of manual labor, to the point where if you were fat, you were considered very wealthy, right? So they did a lot of manual labor, which required a lot of carbs. That's a lot of stress on your body. That's a lot of energy that you need. Even fast forward all the way up into the Industrial Revolution, still lots and lots and lots of manual labor. People still needed a lot of carbs, right? And then you get into the 70s and 80s, where people are still eating a lot of, or I would say probably more natural foods rather than processed foods. And then in the 90s and the early 2000s is when you see us being told that carbs are good, that we need to eat less fat, we're eating more processed foods. And I totally got on a tangent, but you see how we've been told our entire lives that we need carbs, 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 carbs. And I'm about to get cut off again, and I'm totally okay with doing a part 4 if you are. Why are these videos so short? I should have just made one long video and sent you guys a link. I'm gonna try that for you guys. And so we've been told our entire lives, and it's not false, that we've needed carbs. However, all of the people before us worked in manual labor, they were hunters and gatherers, and they did a lot of outdoor activity. So yeah, they did need carbs, and they also ate a lot of very natural foods. So it wasn't hard for them to just eat their food and be okay. And it was really simple back then. It was like, hey, you're fat because you're overeating, versus nowadays where it's processed foods and really bad chemicals in our bodies and stuff like that. So it's like a whole other issue, right? So the good fats that you're looking for are all the fats that have been in your face, and I don't mean in a bad way, but like on a platter right there in front of you your entire life, but you've been told that they're bad. And so my coach says something in her book that I think is really great because it's so true. And it says, don't blame the bread or don't blame the butter for what the bread did. And this is what I mean. Bread is bad for you. Butter is good for you. But you're told that butter is bad, and if you just have whole grain bread, you're healthy. Bread on bread on bread on bread on bread. I love bread, y'all. Bread's not good for us. It's just not. The grains, the wheats, the chemicals that they put in there really prevent our body from absorbing the nutrients that we need because we do not burn it off fast enough to get it out of our system to be able to enjoy all the other food. Because remember, back then they mostly fed off of cabbage and potatoes and onions and carrots. And they would only have bread if they could afford it. So they didn't eat as much bread as we think. And not nearly enough bread for it to like hurt them because they're doing so much manual labor. Anyways, so butter is good for you. You want unsalted, best, organic, natural butter that you could find. Cheese, if your body can do with the lactose, cheese. Can't do lactose, get lactose-free cheese. It tastes amazing. And I just realized I stopped it again and I don't have to. Cheese. What else? Eggs. Eggs are really great. They always tell you not to eat the yolk because it has so much fat in it. You want that. Eggs are great. You can have popcorn because it's corn with some butter. Y'all. Yep. Oh, we just discovered almond whipped topping, like the whipped cream. You guys, it tastes amazing. 2 tablespoons of it is 10 grams. I think there's like 2 carbs in it. Y'all. Okay. What else? Avocados. Y'all love avocados. I do not like avocados, but y'all like avocados, so avocados. Avocado oil, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, y'all, olives. Y'all know pickles don't have any calories, right? And neither do cucumbers, and zucchinis basically don't. Okay, those are veggies, but those are really good. But my point is that there's so many healthy things, and I love that with high fat, low carb is that so many ingredients too. Ranch is a high fat food dressing, no carbs. So the thing is if you guys really go out there and you look, you know that the bulk of your food is going to be vegetables. And then you're gonna have a little bit of protein and you're gonna cook the shit out of your food with some fats. That is what you guys are gonna do. And it's amazing. It's phenomenal. Okay, you throw the butter in, you throw the olive oil in, and you make a masterpiece. And so the actual foods that you eat aren't always going to be fats. sometime, or most of the time, they're going to be things that you're putting on your food. I think the only one that I usually can think of is like avocados, which is a huge and great source of fats. I have to supplement my fat or put in like more butter and stuff because I hate avocados, you guys. But the point is that if you look at keto, a lot of the keto diets kind of go crazy on the fats because you're putting so much fat into your diet that it's almost impossible to eat too. It's very hard to keep up long term. But you want to keep those fats in your diets. And what it does is, we all know our bodies are really good at storing fat long term. We know that, right? So what your body does is it transitions into burning fat, and it'll burn the fat that you've eaten, and then since it's already burning fat, right? And it's really hard to burn fat, so it's already there. And if you're not putting any carbs into your body, it has to keep burning that fat because you've already told it, I don't have any carbs. You got to burn the fat. So it keeps going, right? And it keeps burning the fat, and it keeps burning the fat because you're not putting any carbs in. Because the first thing it's going to do is, oh, carbs are super easy. I'm going to burn that instead. But you don't have to because it's burning the fat. So that's kind of the basis of the high fat. Sorry, my TV keeps turning off and I have no idea what time it is and I need to do my workout and my daily affirmation. But that's kind of the gist of high fat, low carb. I went super into detail with the fat because I want you to understand that I'm not trying to like sell you guys some fad. Like this isn't gonna, all this is gonna do is help you. I went into detail because I want you guys to know some of the science that I have behind it. I really need to I'm probably gonna make a podcast on it to share everything that I've learned about this. But when you stick to it, it works. It works so well to the point where I get really frustrated with myself for not staying to a T. But y'all, carbs, still fighting that fight. But I know I've seen the results. You guys have seen the results. I've shown you guys. And if you guys haven't seen them, I will post them on here again for you guys because I want you guys to see that, especially because I was doing it longer term and I ended up seeing the results, you guys, and I was not sticking to it to a T. So like, imagine if I was, and I should do a challenge where I do 100%. But you guys, it's amazing. So let me hurry up and stitch together this video for you guys. I'm gonna throw it up so you guys can watch it before you guys go to school, work, before you start your day and all of it. And I want you guys to know that you're in control. You are in control of everything that you do, everything that you put into your body. And so together, I'm gonna do better today. I'm gonna let you guys know how I do tomorrow. I'm gonna keep a journal today. So together, let's commit to just trying to make healthier choices, right? Just one healthy choice at a time. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.